Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 4 stream. My name is Adam. I am the community manager of Franchise Hockey.
No, you're not. You're Batman. Listen to you.
Yeah. And with me, as always, is FHM Producer Jeff, who will be taking over most of the stream because, as you can hear, I don't have much of a voice. Yeah. So rather than play our usual Florida Panthers game on this off week, we're going to continue with our Brandon Wheat Kings game, which I'm very excited about because we've been doing really well.
Yep. Well, we're doing pretty well in the Florida game too, but doing well in this one, and I think it's enough of an intro, so you can take off now and go rest your voice, so you can actually talk tomorrow.
Okay. I'll keep watching.
All right. So, thank you. If you want to keep an eye on chat for me, that'd be good. If you're still going to be there, but be quiet from now on, eh? Okay. So Adam's going to rest his voice, so I'll be doing this too. Like you said, we're back to the Brandon game. Before we get started, though, I got something very important to do. It's my first Tim Hortons Roll-Up Cup of the season, so let's see if I won anything. Rolling it up. And please play again. So much for that. Typical luck there. Hopefully we'll do a little better in the game. Okay, so if you missed the last show, what we did last time was go through the WHL trading deadline at the beginning of January. We made a couple of moves. Let me pull the old transaction log up here. Mainly centered around getting a couple of older players because we decided to go for it this year. Chaz Redekop and Thomas Sustal. That also used up the one import slot we had left. So we didn't give up a ton of stuff this year. Gave up some pretty good prospects, so hopefully that's not going to come back and bite us next year. But I think we're in very good shape for this little stretch run. We are not doing too well at the moment. Dropped the last couple of games, so I'm just going to get rolling right away and into this. Although we are in second place overall in the division and 3 games in hand, 4 points back of Regina, so we do have a chance at finishing first. And I'm kind of liking our odds of doing that because finally we were having some scoring issues early in the season. We were winning games, but this is a pretty potent offense we've got, and a lot of the guys weren't producing, but we've got 4 or 5 guys now who are either point a game or within striking distance of it. So I think we will be able to put on a pretty good push through these last few games. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, simming fairly rapidly through the game so we can get as far ahead as possible today, and then back to this in a couple of weeks again, I guess. And I think I may try and get us to the playoffs tonight. Although we're still, I think, about 25 games or so out, so may not quite make it there. And got Swift Current, and just going to sim that quickly. And okay, so much for struggling. That's an 11-1 win for us. Sustal 4 points, Ty Lewis 4 points, and Redekop, the guy we picked up at the deadline, 2 goals, 2 assists. I think those are his first 2 goals with us. Yep, so great game out of him. That pickup is looking really good in retrospect. Sustal also playing well, the other guy we traded for. So far, so good on our trading deadline returns. Sorry, system was a little slow there for a second. And Sustal even made the news for having a great night. And we will just advance the game here, and I think we've got a fairly dense schedule through the back end of this season, so we won't have to go too long between games. And Peyton Krebs, we saw this streak at the end of the last game, and playing for Kootenay, up to 15 games for point scoring streak. I think that's the longest one so far this season. And one of the longer ones I've seen in the WHL in the game, too, so we'll see how long we can keep going with that. And we are back tonight against Prince Albert. See how they've been doing. I'm just sticking with the lines because they're, especially after that result, looks like we're going to play the backup tonight. They've got a fairly hot goalie, and they're doing not too badly. Okay, I think that's fine. And we pull out a 3-2 win. So, still didn't manage to get Miskey, the backup pot. I'd kind of like to have him heating up a little just as insurance going in towards the playoffs. Just in case we got Thompson, the overager, as our starting goalie. So, and he's doing pretty well right now, so I'm not that worried about him. But if he gets hurt or something, I don't really want to have a cold goalie. Have to go with a cold goalie through the whole playoffs. So I will maybe juggle their starts around a little bit. And once we get into the last 10 games or so, and try to make sure they're at least a little bit warm. And Krebs up to 16 games, and looks like Mason Shaw's and Medicine Hat is also on a little bit of a hot streak there. And Johnny Hooker, rookie center, has just a hamstring cramp, but I will swap him out for Bettens in this game. I don't want to. If you've got a guy who's got a minor injury and you're playing him, there is an increased risk of another injury, so we don't really want to take that chance. There's no good reason to do it because he's sort of sitting on the third or fourth line right now. Bettens can just drop into his spot for this game. And this is our second back-to-back against Prince Albert. If you missed the first couple of shows we've done in the WHL, it's a fairly common thing to see in the Western Hockey League. The teams will play a couple of games in the same location against each other, almost like a baseball series. Just makes it a little easier. And these are 16 to 20-year-old kids, a lot of them in high school or college. And we get a 5-1 win over there, Prince Albert. So makes the road trips a little easier on them. They're not away. They're not having to go to Prince Albert once, which is a long drive, and then come back again, do it again later in the season. They just get both games out of the way at the same time. So 2 wins there, and Krebs is still going on the point streak. Looks like the Everett coach is in trouble. And 4 assists night for Michael Rasmussen. Hooker is still hurt, so we may not get him back for the Moose Jaw game, but hey, we're winning, so I'm all right with that. And Krebs up to 18 games. And do we have Hooker back for the Moose Jaw game? No, we do not. Did we have any? No, I didn't have any injuries. So, I mean, injury-wise, we've been pretty fortunate this season. Nothing too serious. And even if we do get, I've probably jinxed us now by saying that, but even if we do get something, I think we've got enough depth that we can fight through it. So, Moose Jaw. And I'm just waiting for, I will play one of these all the way through. Moose Jaw beats us in overtime when we do get a point out of it at least. Take a look at our schedule. What's coming up here? I've got a little bit of a road trip here. Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, Calgary, and Prince Albert. Maybe I will see who's doing. Oh, Calgary's dead last. Now, Medicine Hat is actually first in the Eastern Conference, looks like. So, when do we get them again? That is our second game of the road trip, so I think we'll play that one out, watch the whole thing, and go through that a little more slowly because I would like to get those 2 points off them. Looks like Regina won again. Take a quick check to see if that little winning streak we had moved us any closer to first place. And no, it didn't actually. It looks like Regina must be really hot. They're 5 points up on us now. We still got 3 games in hand, but it's getting harder to make that up. And Hooker's still injured. Come on, kid. And I'm just trying to keep an eye out for Regina results on here because that clock is slowly winding down towards the end of the season. We got to make up that ground and hopefully get the better playoff seeding. Well, he's almost 100% now, apparently. Go back to that. So he should be coming back any day now. That's the sign that when you get that message, it's a sign that he's progressed to the next stage of injury recovery. In this case, it's the final one. So there is still some variability there. There's no guarantee he's going to come back on any particular day, but it gets increasingly likely with each passing day that he will be back. And great, he comes back. And Sustal, the guy we traded for, suffered a gluteus strain. He hurt his butt in practice. So I really don't want to know the details of that. What do I do with him here? He was... Bettens is on the third line. Do I move Gutenberg up to his spot? Actually, no. I'm going to give Hooker that spot. And using the replace option here, because he's a little more of an offensive center. He's going to fit in that second line slot a bit better, even though he hasn't been producing a ton this season. But we should get some. He'll be more important to us next year. But Lethbridge, and I'll take a little closer look at that when we play the Medicine Hat game all the way through. And a big 6-2 win for us, so let me just take a quick look at how Hooker did. Not so well, apparently. 53 game rating, -1. Yeah. Connor Gutenberg, we didn't move up, wound up with 2 points, so... Okay, so not moving him was good, but putting Hooker in that second spot. Apparently not, and no, Matteo said hat-trick. Alrighty. Okay, now this Medicine Hat game, we will play the whole thing out. And since I am doing this whole thing solo, and since Adam can't talk, if anybody has questions, I've got an eye on the board, so not a bad time to ask them, because I could really use some filler here. And Krebs up to 20 games in this point streak. Okay, so Sustal's out for 2 weeks. He really hurt that butt. Oh wow, we got 3 in a row here. I didn't realize the schedule was packed that tight. Thompson is hot. Miscue isn't. I want Thompson in goal tonight for sure. Make sure it is set up like that. Nope, it wasn't. Swap that. Do I want to juggle anything on the power play? See if there's a better countering role for Gutenberg. No, there is not. Looks like up and down works against Medicine Hat. Do I have anybody that's going to be good at that, though? No, not really worth the effort of losing a couple of points. One thing I should point out here. Oh, thanks, Kudu. Since Adam can't talk, you got to bring up Messier. Not the one I wanted to see. So what I was going to say here was you notice there's a lot of 5-rated, potential 5-rated guys for Tactics right now. We're working on some changes to the fit score system. We're going to be starting to test that shortly for the upcoming update. But right now it's being a little bit generous with what the scores it rewards. So that isn't going to stay like that. That will be changing fairly soon, so enjoy it while it lasts. It's kind of forgiving on the Tactics right now. Okay. Minutes and that, we've done... The 2-1 here on the season. Okay, they got their starter in. No injuries other than the Sustal one. So let's watch this play out. I think I've got this set on just... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with goals only. And tactical scores. Our offense is there. Okay, yeah, we're better on defense. It's going to be looks like kind of a defensive struggle here. The only big advantage we've got is on our power play, so let's hope they take a few penalties in this game. And Medicine Hat opens up the scoring for Cheyenne. Rassel, same guy, 2 goals within a few seconds there, and it looks like Kaspic gets one back for us. Maybe so much for the defensive struggle. 3 goals in the first, 4 goals in the first. Oh, come on, Thompson. The first half of the first period, great. Let's settle it down a little here, boys. Who's on the ice for those? Bukac, it was the other Bettens, not the one we put in the lineup. So, it shot 10-7 in the first. That is not promising. We're already playing fairly offensive style. I'm not going to up the risk anymore to try and get that goal back. I think... Oh man, I can see why these guys are first in the league right now. Yeah, Rassel 3+3 already. And looks like we might be getting one back, and Johnny Hooker. Okay, so that paid off finally, having him on the second line, so within a goal. Looks like we briefly had a 2-man advantage there, and we've finally taken over the lead on shots, so it looks like it's a good thing for me to stay patient on that. So 1 to go. I'm going to keep my hand on the stop button. If we get down under 10 minutes, I'll ramp up the offensive risk-taking, but no, I will not need to do that because we just tied it up, so I will let this keep going. Be nice to steal a point, at least from the best team in the conference on the road. And it looks like we'll do at least that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more in overtime. 3-3. Do I want to change anything? Momentum is a little towards us. No, I think I'll just roll with this. And are we going to get a highlight here? No, we're not. Okay, so I will hit play and we'll just shoot right through the shootout. And we wind up losing it. Looks like Cale Clegg blew the last shot. Yeah, so Medicine Hat opens it up, and we missed a whole bunch of missed shots. First 4 were missed. Auster finally gets one for them, and yeah, then Clegg misses the chance to tie it. And so Bullion basically shut us down in the shootout, and Thompson let one in. So we got a point. Minor victory. What does that do standings-wise? 3 points, within 3 points of Regina. So if we can get another one tomorrow in Calgary, and Calgary's... Oh, they bumped up a couple of places they were in last a second ago. Looks like they're up to 4th in the division now, so maybe have to take them seriously now. Ah, no. Oh boy, that's not good. Stelio Matheos are one of our better players. And assistant captain is out 4 months with a concussion. Fantastic. And I'm a little thin at right wing too. Can Sekundiak play over there? Left wing center? No, he's not much of a right wing. How about Reinhardt if I shuffle? No, he's not. Oh boy, oh boy. Yep, guess I did good. I jinxed that one. Oh, come on. At least somebody has to be able... Oh boy, and I've got no natural right wings to go into that slot because I think I traded one at the trading deadline. Oops. I'm gonna have to... What have I got? Have I got anybody on the protected list? This would be a real good time to get Nolan Patrick back from the Flyers. I don't think that's happening. McCallum's only 1.5 stars. No, that's not going to work. No, I think I'm just going to have to put one to the left wing dress. I'll take Matheos out of the lineup. Drop, so the only other forward I got is Sekundiak in. And cross our fingers and see what the AI tries to do with the lines, and if I have to juggle that. Okay, well, Roland Bettens is getting... Oh no, that's... he was right wing to begin with. And it's just dropping McCartney, one of the spare wing left wings, into the 4th line right wing slot. Yeah, that's not great. Where are we now? We're in February. Yeah, 4 months. We're not getting him back for the playoffs. Yeah, very bad. Sue still needs to get back soon. At least we can... Can he play the right side? No, of course he can't. Can any of the centers play over there? Kaspic, a little... Well, Kaspic's at least a 13. That's slightly better, and Hooker's very bad. Well, not very bad, but the farthest away from anybody. Gutenberg, no. And does Bettens play right wing as well as his brother? No, he doesn't. So maybe if we're lucky by the end of that, McCartney will have developed a little bit at right wing, which maybe, I mean, I'm trying to look on the bright side. If he gets a little bit better at right wing, that's a guy who can fill that slot for us next year. But I'm just trying to put positive spin on it at this point. This is not helpful. So we will try the revamped lineup without two of our best players against Calgary, who's kind of a middle-of-the-road, well, slightly behind the middle-of-the-road team. At least Moose Jaw beat Regina, so that helps us a bit. So let's see, a bit of a gut check for our guys. Let's see how they do. Anything, and Krebs' point streak is up to 21, so he's still rolling on. Cross my fingers, and yeah, Miskew's backup is in, so 7-5 loss. So, well, on the bright side, we scored a little, but I don't really want to look at the plus minus. Oh boy, Bukac -4. And what was his game rating? We have 44 game rating. McCorster had a couple of goals. That's pretty good performance from him, so at least somebody stepped up. But -1, and where's McCartney playing? Yeah, McCartney, the guy the left winger we had on the fourth line. 46 game rating, -2, basically a train wreck. So I got to keep an eye on that. If he doesn't that again, we're gonna have to figure out something else for that fourth line spot. Wonder if there's somebody unsigned kicking around that I could steal off, maybe a junior A team to fit in there, because I'm not getting Matheos back by the end of the season. There's a guy that could join us mid-season like that, even if I've got a... Yeah, no, I can't take another overager. If I could, well, I could find a 19-year-old. That might work. I need a 19-year-old. I need something, well, not necessarily a 19-year-old, but somebody who can score right now. I'm just going to do this with the filter rather than the player search and filter, rather than using the free agent thing, because that won't show me all the guys that I can sign. And no, I think I'll just look for, well, I can try Americans in a second. I'll try Canadians first. And I need to do it 16 through 19. It's probably going to be a 19-year-old, though. Wow, there's not much pickings there. It's... Okay, McCallum, the kid from Manitoba that's playing in the Ontario Junior League apparently this year. Nothing on the Canadian side. Let's try the Americans. Well, I'll take McCallum if I've got no other choice. He's my guy anyhow. Yeah, no, nothing even worse on the for American players, and I can't take an import, and I'm assuming there aren't any Mexican players, so that pretty much does it for North America, and really only one viable candidate there, so it's just, and this is, this looks a little different from what the regular free agency or signing screen would be for if you're playing at most leagues, because it's a junior league. It's just sort of an automatic thing, where there's no room for negotiation. If they're willing to play in the league, they'll just automatically sign the contract when you offer it to them. So we've got a fairly unimpressive 18-year-old. He'll get the 4th line spot. Bettens is probably the guy who's going to get sit out when Sustal comes back. Oh, fantastic. Now and Bukac is hurt too. Bruised forearm. He sits. Whitnick finally makes it back into the lineup. I will, after that performance, McCartney, the rookie, can go out. McCallum goes in. AI lines. That's basically exactly what we've had before. The Whitnick shuffling in and McCallum getting that last spot. And it's Prince Albert, and okay, so you saw how well we did against them when we had a much better, much healthier lineup. So this is a good measure of where how far we've fallen. And well, we win. It's 3-2 in overtime. 2 points is 2 points. So Casper gets a couple of goals. Let's see how the new guy did. Is he McCallum? Well, 52 game rating. He didn't screw up too badly, I guess. 1 shot on goal. I'll take it. And now Redekop's injured. Back stiffness day to day. Maybe I can get away if he recovers really quickly, although he's on the he's got the red injury type, so he's actually sitting out right now. So he's actually in a little worse shape than Bukac, the other defenseman. And Rassel, who guy that beat us up pretty badly, had a hat trick. And looks like Lethbridge has fired their coach, Mark Lamb, former Medicine Hat Tiger, new guy there. McCallum, that's weird to ask. It's a little late in asking for the number. I can't give him that one because that's Redekop's. And he's not happy. It's not my fault, Adam. I can't prevent injuries. Well, you can... Oh, boy. See, as soon as I mentioned we were doing really well with no injuries, I think, okay, technically I may have slightly inadvertently jinxed us there. But still 38, 19, and 6. I can't complain too much about where we are at this point in the season, and we've only really got the one big injury that I have to worry about, losing with Theos. And yeah, you never know. Maybe there's a miracle. Maybe he gets some sort of really quick concussion recovery, but I ain't counting on it. Check the standings in a second once we... Oh, it's taking a second here because it's at the end of February. We're doing a monthly turnover. There's a few housekeeping things that the game's doing in the background. We got Krebs is up to 22 games. Let's see, development report. Redekop was developing pretty nice. Yeah, the injured guys were developing well before they got. Yeah, who catch through all 3 of them? Wow. Anybody else? Wegleitner is coming along. Gutenberg too, good. Thompson got a little bit. Miscue got a little bit. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, in a junior, when you're playing junior like this, you're going to get nothing but improvement. You should never, if you see a player declining when he's, 18 or 19 years old, big warning sign there. And still everybody hurt, and we've got a game against Moose Jaw tomorrow, so let's just hope Bukac is ready. Yeah, you see Adam's saying in chat, if he could talk, this clearly might have gone better, so this is entirely on you, Adam. This is clearly your fault. See, this is where the injury started with your throat. You got sick, and it somehow spread to the other team, and gave Matheos a concussion. Entirely your fault. I have no culpability here. And we got monthly saves turns on, so it's just going to take a second to get through this because I'm not playing on a solid state drive and it doesn't do this in half a second like it would if I was. Yeah, good point, Good. If Adam was here, we would have been playing as the Panthers and none of this would have happened. And we should be almost through that. Just winding up there. Board confidence update. Well, great success. Owner is really happy. And nobody is back in time. I'm going to have to put boot catch in early. I don't like that because that's a higher injury risk, but I'm rather do that than having to sign another player. Power play is reasonable. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Let's try this. I'm not incredibly optimistic tonight, but 4-2 win. So guys are kind of coming through here. Lewis, Kundiak. I'll have a look at the stats in a minute and just see how this has been going, how guys have been doing since we picked up the last one and advancing tomorrow. Question from Brian in the chat. Wait a second. Got cut off here. Okay, there we go. In my game losing stay in lanes, which is best suited for my team, I'm getting a ton of shots but few goals. One thing, let me show you in a second when we just flip over to that. One thing to do would be to, in global tactics, you could try switching the shot targeting around a little bit and go to aim for a specific area on the goalie, particularly if you want to go to the trouble of looking, check each opposing goalie and where he's rated, if he's rated particularly high or low at on the glove side, on the stick side, or at low shots, and then tailor each, you tailor your shot targeting each game to him. When you do select one of these other options, it is going to decrease your overall shot totals. You're going to have a few more shots going wide, but you're already getting a lot of shots, that may be an acceptable trade-off for you. And got a whole bunch of news here. What's going on? Krebs up to 23 games. Redicop almost back. Bukach almost back. No, Redicop's still red though, so I have to play the Swift Current game without them outstandings. Where are we? Hey, there we go. We've taken over first place from Regina. See, I know what I'm doing. Just have to wait for them to fall apart. And a win here against Swift Current would really help. So naturally we get shut out 3-0. And that was a Swift Current team we blew out 11-1 last time. And did Regina? No, Regina didn't win at least, so they've actually got with that little burst of games there, they've now got a point game in hand over us. And let me take a look at how far back we are in the standings. There that goes. And if anybody's coming in late, the reason it's I'm the only one doing this tonight, Adam's voice is a little scratchy, so we're resting him there. He's still talking in the chat. That's him, not me, as OOTP Developments. But we've established that it's his reason, his fault. We ran into this little injury streak, and there we go. At least we got Bukach back. Right now we're sitting, okay, well, good. Sustal's back to day-to-day, so we're going to get him back any time now. Matthias is saying 3 to, oh wow, grade 3A concussion. I think that's the highest level. So that's really bad. That's not good for him. Probably bumped his, take a quick look here. He's normal across the board, although it may not have been enough to take him up to a higher level. But when you get a serious one like that, there's a chance that it's going to increase his injury proneness to the head. Brian Chat question, what does the asterisk next to a player's name mean? That's just that they've got rookie status in the league. So you can see we're doing really well considering we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rookies in the lineup. Yeah, McCallum's the guy we just added is rookie. He's considered a rookie as well, even though he's 19. Oh, is he going to be an overager this year? Yeah, I don't think he may not be long with us. And looks like we got a little bit of a break in the lineup here, or in the schedule. And Regina just beat Edmonton, so I think that's probably put them back in front of us. So we'll probably trade that back and forth down the stretch. Krebs up to 24 games. Wonder how Kootenay's been doing with him doing that. Reasonably good, not overwhelming or anything. Well, Medicine Hat is way up there. That is going to be tough for us to get out of the conference in the playoffs. And we're back to a game in hand over Regina, though, and we are 2 points out of first. With how many to go? 3, 6, 7. So I think I'm going to be able to get to the end of this in this show, and we'll probably save the playoffs for the next one. Redicop is almost there. Sustal's getting close, so maybe we will get Redicop at least back for this game against Lethbridge coming up tomorrow, or probably into today now. March the 5th. Saying he's back soon, but not yet. And Krebs up to 24. Okay, playing this game. Lakos question about the Bruins. How surprised are you at how well they're playing? Well, I'm not as surprised as I am about Vegas. But yeah, I mean, Rask has just been red hot. What's his undefeated streak up to now? Something like 25 games? Was he? I think I saw he was like 20-0-6 in the last little while, and we get a 7-4 win against Lethbridge. And Wegleitner, who we moved over up to the first line after the Matheos injury, comes up with 4 assists, so at least he stepped it up. Yeah, 23 games, that's crazy. And then so Alex Burrows got 10 games from the league for that little incident the other night. Apparently went MMA in the middle of a game. I'm just sort of I was saying to Adam before this, I'm just reflexively used to defending everything Burrows does, even though he's not a Canuck. So I don't have to do it this time. He deserved it. And I guess he got a few extra games there just because of his history. And repeat offender. Oh, great. We got Sustal is back to full contact practices. Can't quite play yet, but we must be getting very close on him, so we're almost to the point where we'll be back to just having Matheos as the only injured guy. I probably just jinxed us again by saying we'll be like that. Was Regina playing tonight? Nope. And we got one more day before the Swift Current game. I don't think we're going to get... we're definitely not getting both guys back for that, and I'm not going to try playing Sustal even if he's technically ready to play. I'm going to have to take a defenseman out of the lineup too once Redicop is back. And doesn't look like either one of them is ready. Okay, there we go. Sustal is back to the yellow injury status, which means he can play if I wanted him to, but there is no way I'm taking injury risks with 2 key players that close to the playoffs. So we will go and play Swift Current again. Yeah, no lineup change. The goalies haven't looked at that in a little while. There we go. We got Miskew with another heat rating. And stats-wise, yeah, Thompson's definitely been the better of the two. So I will just sim through that. Broncos win in overtime. Well, there's a point at least. And it looks like Thompson played pretty well, actually. 32 saves on 34 shots. And it doesn't look like we had anybody who had a particularly bad game, just couldn't generate a lot of offense. And in Saskatoon tomorrow, so will we get either of those guys back for this game? Fingers crossed. And apparently not. Oh, and there we go. Krebs' point streak is finally over. He's had... I'm surprised he doesn't have a few more points. 70 points only in 63 games, despite that really long point streak. But scary thing is, he's got another year or two at least in the league, so he's in our conference. That's the only BC team in the Eastern Conference. So we're going to have him to deal with next year and possibly the year after as well. He's probably going to go top 2 or 3 in the NHL entry draft a couple of years from now. And nope, still nobody ready for the comeback from injury. Saskatoon, looks like we got another 3 games in 3 nights. Our goalie's cold at least. That may help. And we lost in overtime. It's not a great, well, it's an okay goalie performance. Looks like we got more shots this time at least. But now we're back on the road against Moose Jaw, and come on, please give me at least one of these guys back. And who wouldn't want to travel to Moose Jaw in the middle of March? Where are we in the standings? 4 games for us to go. We are a single point back behind Regina. We really need to pull this out here. And I know I said I was going to try and get Miskew hot, but I'm probably going to have to start Thompson down the stretch just to try and get that first place overall. And look at this. We got both guys back. Much better. So I need to figure out which defenseman's going to sit. Whitnick was a guy that I had out originally. Okay game ratings. The other option is the rookie Ettinger. Let's do this. Use the comparison screen. Whitnick versus Ettinger. And a little more offense out of Whitnick. A little more defense out of Ettinger. So fairly equal, all things considered. I think I'm just going to stick with Ettinger because he's a rookie. He's a year younger, so there's a little bit more development room there, so I might as well keep him in the lineup. McCartney, the 16-year-old who kind of struggled, I don't think we want him out. Bettens, Kyle Bettens, not Rylan Bettens, is the guy who is going to come out there as Sustal finally gets back in. Any reason for optimism on Matheus? Let's see. Still showing 3 to 4 months, so just there's no way we're getting that guy back this year. Just going to have to resign ourselves to that and working around it in the playoffs. So, this is basically what our playoff lineup will look like. Hooker back to the 4th line. An offense-oriented 4th line. Oh, well, I didn't put Redicott back in the lineup. Oops. Was not smart. Do that again. Didn't change the forward lines at all. Redicott in the 2nd spot. So we've got Yeah, that trade is kind of paying off at the deadline because we've got really deep top four defensively. And yeah, I want Thompson in the top slot there. And in time for the Moose Jaw game, they may not be perfectly fit for this, so the Redicop is at 80. Actually, Sustol is... Where's Sustol? He's at 100, okay. So he's not going to wear down, but Redicop might. How much time we got? 10 minutes left, so I'm going to sim this, and if we get into... Wow, if we get the guys back and wind up losing 5-1. Nice. Oh, and look at that. We took a pile of penalties right off the start of the game. Gotta be disciplined, guys. Schneider with the only goal. Okay, so let's see where this puts us. So, okay, we're finally even in games with Regina. We're back a single point. We have 3 games to go. Are any of them against the Pats? No. We got Saskatoon and 2 against Moose Jaw. How have they done? Oh, great. That's okay. The 2 worst teams in the division. That's good news. So if we blow this, it's our own fault. Regina has Prince Albert, Swift Current. Prince Albert and 2 against Swift Current, home and home. So we're playing the 5 and 6 teams, and they're getting the 3 and 4. So we got a little bit of an edge there. And hopefully our guys will recover fitness-wise for this last little bit. And everybody's going to be at 100%, and we will sweep these and go on to take the top playoff spot, ideally. Okay, yeah, notice Sustol and Redicop are back. I'm not going to check the stats after we get this season done. And I think we're matching, our schedules pretty much match with Regina the rest of the way, so we'll be playing the same night. I'm going to give Ettinger one more game. If we don't do well in this one, I think I might swap Whitnick back in, go with the older guy. And, well, we pull out a 4-3 win. Not really dominant against the worst team in the division, but let's hope Regina didn't do quite as well. See that in a second. I think they were playing, so I'm not sure of that. And no, it looks like they weren't. There we go, against Prince Albert right here. Waiting for the score. And Prince Albert beats them 3-1, so we are back in first place with 2 games to go. So it's our spot to lose now. Nobody hurt, everybody in good shape. We all, yeah, hundreds across the board. So Ettinger can stay in. Yeah, good. I totally intended to do it this way. Complete control. Okay, so we got this, yeah, back-to-back against Moose Jaw, and Brandon, I think, is going back-to-back against Swift Current, so let's get 2 points here, and that should give us a stranglehold on it. Got a couple of minutes left in the show, so we will just play this one out, and or at least watch the goals. Tactically, oh wow, it looks like they got a bit of a tactical advantage. I may have to... Wow, do they ever? Although we're up 6-1 shots, and we get the first goal. Maybe I'll leave it alone. And we're up 2-0. Okay, I'm not touching this. Oh, 10-4 shot advantage through the first period. And 2-0 on goals. And it looks like we may get 3 here. Yeah, Gutenberg just gets it across the line. Although Gregor breaks a shutout, and uh-oh. Well, we were up 3-0. Now it's suddenly 3-2. Focus here, guys. And Moose Jaw, big shot advantage, and we gave the lead away. Okay, so maybe I should have kept my mouth shut there. I'm going to have to look at the tactics in between periods here. Let's see. Can I have Redicop Rush a little bit more? No, that's not going to do anything. Yeah, I don't think I can. I just don't think we're a good tactical matchup for them. Well, play the third period, cross my fingers. There we go. 4-3 Moose Jaw. We blew it. I see your messages, Adam. I know this is somehow entirely your fault. Now 5-3. So 3-0 lead. We had the division championship in hand, and we fell apart. 5-3 Moose Jaw final. We choked. But how did Regina do? We will know in a second. And they beat Swift Current 2-1 in overtime. So they are back ahead in first place. We may have blown this. We need to win against Moose Jaw tonight. The problem is, if I start Thompson and he has a bad game, am I going to cool him off right before the... I've already lost 1 heat rating. Oh boy, what do I do here? I don't want to cool my goalie off going into the playoffs. He's at 80% fitness. But I want that first place spot. Oh boy. I'm gonna try Whitnick back in the lineup for Ettinger, and I will AI wants to take Mescu. I'm going to start the backup tonight. It's, well, it's for first place. Okay. Well, at least the backup is slightly odd, so if I get into trouble in the playoffs, maybe I can go to him. I'll go with the starter. And last game of the season, he's a starter. He should get a chance to win it for us. So let's see how this goes. And yes, still the same thing tactically. They just got our number. Maybe get a big game out of the goalie tonight. That would be nice. Playing starting well so far. Made a few saves. And pretty even through the first period. 6-6 in shots, no score. And we got a couple shots early in the second. Still nothing happening yet. Don't see. And Lewis is having a nice game for us, up to 64 game rating already. Despite, and nope. Moose Jaw gets the first goal, and this is actually at home for us, so you'd think that would help, but apparently not. Ah, there we go. We got something happening here. Is it us? Yeah, and Sustal ties it up for us. And we are dominating them shot-wise, although we just gave up a 2-man advantage. Into the third period, still tied 1-1. And we got something going here. It is going to be Tanner Kaspic making it 2-1 for us. Gonna keep a finger on the stop button, just go to a more defensive tactic. In the last, whoops. Helps if I don't move the window around. And misclick. We are not going high risk. We're going to slow the tempo way, way down. Play defensively in these last 3 minutes to hang on to that lead. And as soon as I do that, it's probably going to happen anyhow, but Schneider gets a goal. And that may do it for us. It looks like it did. So all we need to wait on here is if Regina wins, they're still in first place. If they lose in overtime or shootout, we go to a tiebreaker, and I didn't look see who wins there. And if they lose, we're in first. So watch out for the Regina score in a second. They're playing Swift Current, I think. There we go. Swift Current Broncos 4, Regina Pats 1, and we are in first. See, I had this all planned out, worked perfectly. And Adam kept questioning me. Although that's not good. Ty Lewis, our best player, wow, he got cut for 15 stitches in training, so keep the puck down, guys. Don't need that going into the playoffs. But he'll still be able to play, so maybe a little uncomfortable for the first game, and I will, whoops. Sim through that because I think there's one day left on the end of the regular season. A couple of teams only had 71 games. So I will just get us up to the first playoff game, and we'll find out at least whether or not Lewis is going to be back. Oh, see, now you're trying to jinx us, Adam. Taking bets on who's going to go out in round 1. And I want to see who we get in the first round, too. No, Adam, you're the only one who does draft lotteries 3 times to make sure he gets a #1 overall pick. I don't pre-record these. And that's some news. Looks like it's just taking a couple of days to spool around to the start of the playoffs. We're also, oh no, it's not the end of the month. It's a week away. And we got Prince Albert in the first round, so looks like it's just going to make it up to that. Oh, cool. We got a little storyline thing here for Sustal. We got trophy nominees. Looks like our guys were nominated for at least one thing. We didn't get a nomination for Coach of the Year, unfortunately. Nope, no MVP. Or no, that was Executive of the Year. No, we didn't. No coaching or executive years at all for us. Oh, that was Sosanov. I thought it was Sustal. So not our guy. And Lewis is not quite back from the injury. So I'm actually going to cut it off there because we're actually a little bit over time right now. Matheos, did he ever get off the 3 to 4 month thing? No, he's still stuck there, so wouldn't entirely shock me if he was missed the start of the next season too, but he's probably not going to be with us anymore at that point. Because do they have him under contract yet? No, he's still signed to us, so Carolina didn't give him a contract yet. So maybe that might wind up working for us. I'm wondering if the AI will steer clear of him next year and not give him a contract immediately because he's hurt. Maybe we'll get him back next year. Just maybe. But okay, I think we will wrap it up here, and I will do Adam's usual closing thing here to spare his voice. If you want to find out more about the game, you can get. You see, I should have I should have paid attention before when he's doing this, so I can remember all of it. But you can see you can find out more on our website at ootdevelopments.com. There are also the forums there, where if you have questions, we're always around there, ready to answer them. In addition, there's also our Facebook page, and Adam is regularly on the Twitter site and Reddit as well. I'm occasionally there too. And also the Steam forums, if you're playing the Steam version of the game, or just the way it's easier for you to check it out there. We are answering questions regularly on there. Oh, it's in the... Oh, okay. Now I realize that Adam was on the ball here, and he actually wrote up the whole wrap-up for me, and I completely ignored it because I didn't see it pop up in Discord. But now I'm going to read it anyhow. Thank you for tuning into Franchise Hockey Manager 4. We stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTDevelopments. You don't need to spell the whole thing out like that. All of our videos are archived on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/OOTDevelopments. People understand how to get to a YouTube URL. Come on. You can also find us on our Facebook page, which is Facebook, etc., /Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we are at Franchise Hockey. And we have a link to our Discord, which I forgot to mention, in our Twitter profile, and the official forums at ootdevelopments.com. And the community link on the start page of the game will also take you to the official forum. So just to get you out, before I go, to get you up to date on where we are for and probably potentially the final update for OOTP 5. That's probably going to be coming out shortly after the NHL trading deadline. We're fixing some things and making changes in the game right now, and we'll be starting to test those out very soon. So a few things coming. I don't think we've got any major additions coming, but you will get the final version of the NHL post-trading deadline rosters. And I haven't been in the forums today, so if there's any questions waiting there, I will probably be getting to them shortly. So thank you for coming out. We will be back next week, Adam's voice permitting, probably back to the Florida Panthers game, where we're doing pretty well. And then a couple of weeks from now, we'll get back to this Brandon game and see how we do in the playoffs and if we can finally win a championship in one of these streams. So thanks for coming out, and we will see you guys next week.